One, two, one, two. That truth in the building. What's going down? Y'all know nothing about this. Probably before some of y'all time. Matter of fact, it is the time. More day in the time. Grace is packing. Think she'll be here in a few days or so. So she might pop up, she might not. But she didn't tell me so. What's your phone number? Y'all remember that? That was Moore's Day in the time. You don't know nothing about that. Bare Truth is in the building. Motivational Monday. It's going down. Matter of fact, happy birthday to Dee Dee Brooks. Thought I forgot you. Looking good at 56. Or was it your birthday? Or was you just taking a picture? I don't know. But I know this was out when we was in Arsenal Courts. You remember this? You, Crystal, Peanut, Tosh. Hold on. I got to do this. Seven. Y'all don't know nothing about Morris Day in the time. You got to be old school to know about that. Shout out to Mix and Mel. Mix and Mel know about that. Captain. Let me tell you who else. DJ Candyman. Bumping that on the radio. 88.5 like back in the days. Man, you know what? I used to want to be a DJ on 88.5. Shout out to Cream, DJ Powder, and my nigga Car, Jigga Man. What's up, Jigga? I be trying to pop in on y'all shows too. Candyman, he be on there too. And I remember when G Train was on the radio station, but I always wanted to be a DJ on the radio station. What's happening with everybody? Last week I kind of canceled the podcast because man, my roommate is going through it again. my roommate is my mom. But the roommate, man, she down right now. And so, keep her in prayers, man. And so just got a few little health issues that's going on, man. But she's strong, she eating, she feeling good. And so, just praying that, she get her strength back and get it back to the house or, just get back on her feet and move from up out of the hospital, one of the two. So like last week, it was a bunch of moving around. So it's like, man, I just killed the podcast. And so, matter of fact, Grace is on her way down. So she says she packing. So right now she probably trying to get ready to get this way. And so, yeah. Shout out to Whitball, King Productions. Matter of fact, Devin, and then my family and them. The White Party jumping off this what is it gonna be Saturday? It's gonna be jumping off Saturday. They supposed to have Christopher Williams there, man. That dude used to go hard. I got some of Christopher Williams in my playlist. I should have been bumping some of that. But yeah, Christopher Williams is gonna be on the boat. It's somebody else. I'm not for sure who that person is gonna be. But let me see if we got some birthdays, man, real quick. And then I'm gonna tell you about what we're gonna talk about. All right. Let me see. Birthdays. What's up, Dee? I seen you seen the post that I did. What's up to my little cousin Man over in Naptown? Man, what's the word, baby? Just chilling. I'm gonna send you a birthday shout out on the book though. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to my cousin Man. What's up, Hot Rod? It's Hot Rod birthday today too. Rodney Beeson. Um, Happy birthday to my cousin Mike Jones, the real Mike Jones, for real, for real, for real. I didn't go on live like last week, so I didn't get a chance to say happy birthday to my big cousin Mike. He been gone, man. He rest in peace, Mike. They did a birthday party for him at my auntie Billy's house over in the town like last week, and it was dope. Major food and stuff like that. Shout out to Ashley and Sade, Kayla and all of them. Man, little Mike. Shout out to y'all pops, man. That was my big cousin. My man used to look out for me when he was at Jimmy's. And so nothing but love over there. Got a chance to hang out with J Dog, Vic, what's happening? Auntie Billy. My cousin Man over in Naptown. Happy birthday to you, cuzzo. And let me just send him a shout out and some love. That's my little cousin. Hot Rod, what's up? LaQuisha Henderson. Fred Thomas, what's up, man? Is it your birthday? Damn, Fred. Okay, so tomorrow I'll see you tomorrow, my dude. So happy birthday. You dig what I'm saying? To my man Fred. And Claudia Blazer. Tyrone Love, Susie Jones, Kia LeGrone, Amanda Whitney. Yeah, a lot of the other people I really don't know, but I will shout out to Claudine Anders. Her birthday. I forgot, but I remember her posted some pics of her being out of town. She's very good people. Dovey Manning, Leslie Ray, just some of the people. Sharice Ross, and that's it. You dig what I'm saying? Sharice, what's going down? I ain't seen her in a minute. That's my peoples from way back. We used to house party and stuff like that. Hit the house parties. Let me give her a birthday shout out though. For real, for real. Them is my peoples. So I wanna. But yeah, what's happening with everybody? Bear Truth, we back in the building. So I will go on Wednesday. I will do Why We Believe Wednesday, and I will do Love versus Hate. I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I want to do the after hours with Bear on Friday. Try to snatch Loco Losa with some of his DJing, and I was thinking about doing something on Friday. But I got to tell you something before we get into this. I have really been checking out the Church 2819 on YouTube, and I'm not for sure if you're into the word, but check that dude out and listen to some of his stuff. I mean, you might think it's cliche, but he on fire for God, man, and he really made me open up my eyes to what are we doing like when we on this planet, man? Like all of us got a call and all of us got a purpose on why we here. So sometimes it be seeming like to me like we can be chasing felonious stuff, We got our eyes on, the next big party, what outfit I'm gonna wear, what kind of shoes I'm gonna wear, how can we celebrate and party. And at the end of the day, just to keep it 100, we're gonna get to the podcast. All of that shit is perishing. That shit is fleeting away. And ain't none of it got no sustenance. None of it's gonna be here so what are we doing when we dress up and we trying to spend a bunch of money just to do this and that, or you spending a bunch of money just to show out and have fun so people can post it on the book or on the gram just to say, okay, you did it, or man, we was lit, we was turned. And guess what, when God comes shut the lights out on this planet, ain't none of that gonna matter. How lit you was, ain't none of that gonna matter. Okay, I'm gonna get off the spiritual soapbox and let's get down to what we was talking about. Okay, so we tabled this conversation called let me see, it was called habitual behaviors. Okay, and what me and Grace was talking about, it was like this little thing of saying, how is it that sometimes you might have been going through something when you was like a kid, you might have picked up a habit or something when you was a child, and now that you older, you can't get rid of that habit, and maybe that habit is coming back to haunt you. You know what I mean? And one of the things, I was listening to this one lady and she said this thing about a test, and it was so sincere. She said, you're going to keep taking that test until you pass it in life. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's stealing. I don't care if it's lying. I don't care if you got an addiction, you got a habit, you got something that's going on in your life. You will continually take that test until you pass it. Or either every time you flunk, it's going to fuck your life up. Excuse my language. We're not going to try to be too vulgar on here but I'm just trying to keep it 100 with you. Listen, life will throw you a test. And that goes for y'all. Y'all seen a little video that I posted about them shorties? She oh, you can't see her, but she's on the side of the car and she's bending over and she's twerking and she's listening to like Sexy Red or either Glorilla, one of them. But the kids, she got three daughters, they all trying to stick their head out the window, and one of them is drinking a juice, like doing like this, and the other one sticking up two middle fingers. Then you got the other little baby, she trying to stick her head out the car so she can kind of like get her shine on, like y'all let me shine too. And the mother is sitting right there talking about, my kids turned too. My kids turned. And it's like, you goofy. You sitting up got these babies, 2, 3, maybe 4. He couldn't have been no more than 5 years old. They couldn't have been. You got them singing the rap songs to this, and you got them sticking up their middle fingers, and you bending over twerking, and you think that that's cute. Now, habitual behaviors. What you teach your kids, life will test your kids on that. And so when your kids come out into this world, guess what? Life is going to test them. You know what I mean? So when somebody wind up skipping school, drinking, smoking, and wind up pregnant at 13, 14, 15, 16, remember, your kids turn. This is what you teaching your kids. So a lot of times, man, we be setting examples and we're not conscious of it. We just be laughing. We think it's cute because they can talk. Or listen, now that they can talk, they know the whole words to this song. Why don't you never try to teach them the whole words to like a Psalms or to a Bible scripture or something? Something positive that they can use out in the world, something that can be like that. Because when kids, when we picked up those habits from where we grew up from and where we come from, and I'll tell you about a few of mine. As we go down the list, I'm going to play the videos and then we will talk about them. And I mixed them up again. I'm gonna give you a video real quick. Hold on. Mm, let's do this one.
Sometimes we develop habits that we're not even aware of until they become a problem, or maybe they serve us well. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is that habits are a big part of who we are. What we do habitually makes up much of what we do entirely. In fact, it's estimated that up to 70% of our waking behavior is made up of habitual behavior.
I think people don't understand that your behaviors can show your way of thinking. It's not about people knowing your individual decisions, but when you've lived long enough, you know the train of thought that comes with doing certain things. So while we may not know what you're doing exactly, the choices that you're making are showing what kind of headspace you in. So we ain't got to know your business to know when you're doing something stupid or something compromising or, low self-esteem, all that shit. Because when you done been there before, you already know what the behaviors look like.
Bare truth. I think what she said was dope. You know, um, Sometimes when people look at you, action speaks louder than words. Put it like that. Action speaks louder than words. So sometimes you ain't even got to let a person know what's going on in your life. Sometimes you showing them what who you are and what you are by your repeated behaviors and your repeated motives, things that you cannot break. You cannot break cycles. We had talked about this not too long ago, though. Just about having like friends or some family members that are still stuck in time. Always talking about what happened in the past, or they just stuck, still doing the same thing. Ain't nothing changed in your life. There's nothing different. You ain't moved out of that spot in over 2 decades. And that's really a prison. So these habitual behaviors that come back and that'll haunt your life that you didn't correct or you didn't check when you was younger. We was in high school smoking and drinking and partying and house partying. And now we in our 50s. You mean to tell me that you still sitting around smoking and drinking and playing loud music and playing cards and every day, all day? Like, I mean, every now and then, but like every day, all day? Like, ain't nobody doing that. Somebody got to be conscious and got to be grown and got to get up and get on their grown man, B.I. So, habitual behaviors. All right. Grace said she thought she was going to be finished. Her laptop is acting up and she had to run to the store. So she might not be on tonight. Okay. So we'll just keep going. Habitual behaviors. I got 5 of them for you that I'm going to talk about. And it could possibly be more. But this was a few that we had that we was going talk about. And these are some ones that I want you to be mindful of. And just, when we're doing the podcast, if you see yourself in it, check yourself. It's Motivational Monday. We all can, ain't nobody above approach, or reproach, or however they say it, to the point where you done listening or you done learning. You can always learn something. I don't care. It don't cost nothing to pay attention. So the only thing you got to do is just be willing to learn and keep an open mind to it. So the first one is the survival hustle mindset. That was me. Growing up broke, you learn to hustle anything from stealing to scamming to cut corners. But now you 35, you got kids, and you can't keep a legit job, but you never trusted doing things the right way. I know somebody like that. I know somebody like that right now. You know what I mean? Um, just still stuck right there to where we was at back in the days when the money was good, back when things was good, when the dope game was good, or you might hit a little lick here and there, You come up on a little robbery or something like that. You knock somebody off that was, small time under a microscope, take their weed, take their dope, take their money, and then boom, you came up. So those little bitty licks and those little bitty highlights from in the past, they still got your mind messed up. So in your mind, you stay in there, you growing up broke, and you just can't get over the fact that, listen, maybe I need to go get a trade. Maybe I need to go get a job. I gotta go get a job. This little nickel and diamond and petty hustling, this ain't what's happening. But you'll get that from them people, and they'll stay right there, and you never successful. It ain't paid off yet, family. You got to do something different. This is not a laughing matter. I know what it's like to always be trying to run. I went to prison for 15 years. Behind the surface of what it was a scam. It was a money scam, thinking that I had came up and was finna hit somebody for some money, and jokes on you. Bop got hit with the bop gun. That's what I'm telling you, man. You got to get out of that survival hustle mindset of always trying to look for some easy type of way to come up. I'm gonna tell you something. Now I don't even want it if it's easy. If it's too easy to have, it ain't meant to be, because everything I figured out now is hard work. It comes with some type of learning, some type of trade, some type of anything. So if it's easy peasy, I'm cool. And I'm just gonna keep it 100. So if you got that survival hustle mindset to where you looking for the next lick or you looking for the next payday, thinking you slick, thinking you finna come up like you finna pimp the game, boy, them feds finna knock your face off. And other than that, you're gonna keep playing around and you just petty hustling. You ain't doing nothing but kept racking up charges. You racking up charges and you steadily going back and forth to jail. And by the time you look at life, you ain't got no accomplishments, no bank account, no credit. You don't own nothing. You just out here bad. Number two, number two, anger as a defense mechanism. Um, let's see, you snapped on everybody as kids, teachers, cousins, even friends, because you thought being mad meant being strong. Now that habit ruins relationships, jobs, and marriages because you never learned how to calm down. Um, I know this dude that was like that. I remember every time we used to play, he used to be like I don't know if he had a short man complex or whatever, but he was short and he was super strong for being short, right? And so he's shorter than everybody, older than me, but he was even shorter than me, and I'm short. So he's shorter than me. So listen to this. So every time he get mad, he would cry. He would ball up his fist and do the like start crying like, man, so his brother used to gas him up, like, "Oh, you finna get it now." He crying, like, "Man, you done made him mad. You pissed him off." When he start crying, boy, if I was you, you better go in the house. So now all of a sudden he got the kids scared, like when he start crying. So every once in a while he pull off the angry man syndrome. You dig what I'm saying? He cry, and now everybody's scared. Don't mess with him. Don't do this. I don't want to call his name out. Okay, angry man. One time robbed the UPS man. Angry man. Stabbed that man in the chest. You and another guy who was kind of lightweight, angry, used to use the angry stuff to, you know what I mean, to get around people. And didn't even get the man for no money. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was a few dollars. I ain't neither here nor there. However it goes, stabbed the man, the UPS man, and he winded up dying and or hit a pole and he winded up dying. Winded up going to prison for involuntary manslaughter. You know what I mean? Or murder, second degree murder. One of the two. I ain't for sure what it was, but he went to jail, got a lot of time. And, the saying is true. Using that anger as a defense mechanism. Trying to prove to people that when you get angry, you get strong. Like, when I get mad, I'm going to turn green. Okay. Your ass going to jail. That's where you're going to be at. And you're going to be in there sick because ain't nobody putting nothing on your books and you ain't got nothing to eat in them trays and it's cold and they gonna make you get up early in the morning and sit out in the day room. And you're gonna learn to slow down in a minute when you get done dealing with them downtown in Scott County. But meanwhile, check yourself. Because look, now you messing up your relationships. You can't even get a marriage because now every time you don't even know how to communicate with people because you're too busy using the anger mechanism. Now all of a sudden you don't even want to, you don't even know how to get a job. Somebody tell you something at a job, next thing you know, you spaz out on the boss. Motherfuckers don't care nothing about you spazzing out at the job, boy. It's so many people that putting in applications, they finna get rid of you so fast. All of that loud talking and shit. You see it all the time. And you know who they are. They always trying to loud talk and trying to make it seem like they just tough. It's like, listen, you are not the toughest person on the planet. For every tough guy, there's a counterpart. Somebody's just as tough as you are. What do you say? Yeah, quick too. Like, yeah, very, very quick tempered, and thinking that is the way to go. It ain't the way to go. Listen, if you don't know how to be peaceful, if you don't know how to communicate, and you don't know how to be cool, I don't know what to tell you. Your ass is you done, you know. So I wouldn't condone just trying to tell people what to do with their life, to do, you know what I mean, like telling you to smoke weed and something like that. But you need to go find you some type of way to mellow out, because if anger is your mechanism, your defense mechanism, you ain't finna make it. You know, and I know some women that's like that. They feel like they ain't know nothing unless they pop off. Okay, but sometimes you're gonna get with somebody that's cool. He's a gentleman and he's a great guy, and you're gonna pop off and you're gonna run him away. So, number two, anger as a defensive mechanism. You know, Wayniac, what's the word, big dog? Love equal pain habit. If all you saw growing up was your mama getting cheated on, beat on, or disrespected, you think chaos equals love. So now you chasing toxic partners because peace feels boring. Mm, listen to that again. If all you saw when you was growing up, if you seen your mom getting cheated on, beaten on, disrespected, you think chaos equals love. So now chasing toxic partners, you think that peace is boring. And you know what? I stayed solo for a long, long, long time because peace is boring to people. They ain't with that. Like, sometimes you can be with somebody and they drink a little bit or they smoke. And if you don't drink or smoke, it's like they either turned or either they high, they mellow, and they feel like you ain't on the same page, or maybe you ain't vibing. And to keep it 100 with you, it's so much toxicity going on out here right now. I ain't gonna put everybody in that box or try to generalize every woman, but I'm starting to think like y'all don't want to fuck with a nigga unless he is toxic. You like that bad boy image, somebody that's talking crazy, still for the streets. And here's the thing, it's just like you want to boo hoo to your friends when, okay, he done blacked your eye or busted your jaw, or broke out all your car windows because his anger problem ain't there. But then you think that that equals love? Man, that ain't no. Y'all got to get some help, man. For real, for real. Y'all got to get some help. Love equal pain habits. That habitual behavior of going back to stuff that you know ain't right, that you know ain't right. You know it ain't right. You know it's toxic, but you don't want peace. I'm telling you, peace is a beautiful thing, and protect it at all costs. Protect it. When you find peace and you got peace, boy, it, I'm telling you, toxicity can't even, it can't be. Listen, when you got peace, you think so much better, you feel so much better, you move better. I mean, man, it's a beautiful thing when you taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul. When you're around positive people doing positive stuff, I'm telling you, man, it ain't nothing like it, because I'm telling you, here's a scripture in the Bible, and I'm not going to beat you over the head with scriptures, but this is a very true scripture, and I want you to think about this. God is not the author of confusion. He is not the author of confusion. So anything that's chaotic or toxic, it is not from God. God is love, peace, joy, happiness, sound mind, meekness. Anything. I wish I had my Bible. I would give you like the spirits, the fruits of the spirit. Nothing like toxicity. Excuse me. Excuse me. Bless myself. But it's nothing like beating on people, yelling, using anger as a mechanism. So if you think being toxic is love, I feel sorry for you. You'll never really experience real love until you get somebody that can be your peace and that can be your joy. When you know laughing, chilling, and everything is good, dope conversations, dope food, good movies, laughing, positive energy, everybody doing something, it just makes you a better person. Number four, and this is a bad one: addiction coping. From smoking weed at 14 to drinking heavy at 21 to now battling pills or fentanyl around 40. What started as fun or numbing the pain turned into a chain that you can't shake, and how many of us then did that? I got a lot of guys that I grew up with that I partied with, or I sit from afar and I watch. Started with the 40 ounces, because that's what it was. We we used to like, go into the stores and run out with we used to do beer runs. We used to go into the store, we used to run out with liquor and shit, right? And so we all meet up at the park. We get to the park. We got Mad Dog, Wild Irish Rose. We people got 40 ounces and everything. So now we passing our bottles around. We getting bent up. And so then guess what? We get to high school, add a little bit of weed in there. Matter of fact, not even high school. Me and brother Jay and Ben, we did it in junior high. We was at the junior high school. We was at Wood Junior High selling joints at the school dances in '87 and '88. We selling joints for $2. So by that time, we had already been smoking. So then when we get to high school, add that drinking with the smoking weed, skipping school, got my girlfriend pregnant twice. First one, her mom made her get an abortion. We were sophomores. Second time she got pregnant, we were seniors. We got Nubia. But I'm saying, so now we moving too fast. We grown. So what happens when you grow up too fast is that some of our friends took the weed smoke to boom, snorting powder. I used to snort powder, you know what I mean, here and there. Picked that up from one of my habits from my block in Nap, where it was okay, we're gonna stay outside. Snorting powder was a rich man's high, a poor man's habit. So, you know, snorting the powder, you wasn't looked upon or frowned upon like people that was smoking crack and stuff like that. So if you was smoking crack or you was shooting needles, we knew a guy that was from our block that used to snort heroin. It was like, oh, he bogus, like he bad, like so. But you can never call nobody bad because we snorting powder. So we was snorting lines of powder and we would stay up all night and we would hustle. You dig what I'm saying? We would be on the block and somebody got a powder sack with a key and boom, we'll hit the bag, boom, pass that mug around, go to the swimming pool, the whole neighborhood. That's how it was. And so, hey, auntie. And so that's how it was. Now, I got some friends who left that level and graduated to putting something on it, like smoking primos, taking powder, sprinkling it on a weed. Then went from that to sprinkling crack on their weed. And then took that and just went from straight blazing to hitting the pipe and to having a hard time trying to bounce back. Because you start smoking that crack and that's an animal. That's a whole nother monster. So listen, that addiction coping, it started at smoking weed at 14. That was me. But I was 13 smoking weed, drinking heavy at 21. I never really got into the pill popping, but I did pop a few X. I did a few X pills. I can count on one hand how many times I did X. Um, I never really got into the drugs real heavy. I snorted some powder, but everything used to make me paranoid, So I didn't really, I was never like that, but but I can understand how people graduate and go from different levels to different levels. You start snorting powder, next thing you know, you shooting up. God forbid you hang out with the wrong person and now you done got on that meth ghost, that meth train. That's a monster that you ain't seeing people come back from, eating their face up, eating their teeth up. So it's like that addiction coping. Those is habits that you can pick up when you were shorty, and it's a habitual behavior that now you grown, and man, it could take your whole life. It could take your family. You know what I mean? It could chase you away from your kids, from your jobs. It can, man. Drugs don't have no love for nobody. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the reason why I don't even play with it. I don't even rock with nothing. I don't care if you can handle this, if you good on just weed and you did. I don't care what y'all doing. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm just not doing it. You dig? I ain't messing with it at all. I don't care. And that's how I feel about about that one right there. But yeah, addiction coping. Please get you some help. Please get you some help. Quitting too early. Number 5. Every time life got hard, you dropped out, quit, gave up. Now your habit of not finishing keeps you broke, bitter, and blaming everybody but yourself. I've seen a lot of people like that. Every time you quit, you know what I mean, you gave up. When life get hard, you give up on the situation. You don't never see nothing through. You never follow nothing through. One thing I love about my family or what's in my blood is that, man, we will go. We some go getters. You dig what I'm saying? We some go getters. Like I dropped out of high school, but I went back and got that GED. I know Nubia. She was going to school and she was so rough that they wouldn't even let her walk the line, but she got her diploma. My baby Wizzy, um, the first year she didn't come out with her class, but me and her got into like this big argument. We fell out and stuff like that. And I remember one time her counselor called me and was like, I'm not giving up on her. She was one of my best students, and just people that she was kicking it with. And she just wanted to get me on the phone and was like, I'm not giving up on her. I want her to come to night school. I'm gonna do this and that. Wizzy jumped in that shit. She handled that business. She finished that class. The next year, she walked the line, held her head up high. Shorty got her CNA license. She grinding from Sunday through Wednesday. And then a shop just put her into a shop and she braiding hair and doing wig, whatever, the lace fronts and all of that mess. She doing all of that in somebody's little salon now. They just welcomed her into a shop. She 21 with no kids. And that's that motivation of never giving up. And see, that's like my old man, like my father, like he done went down, like, battling with the liquor. You dig what I'm saying with the liquor? But you talking about the success story of coming back up, like never quitting, like fuck that, dust yourself off and try again. Like he the blueprint for that shit, and I'm the blueprint for that shit. Nubia got that shit. Wizzy got that shit. Like we ain't listen, we ain't quitting for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Stop that shit. If you got that as a little kid where you was giving up and you quit on something, see some shit through. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, ain't nothing wrong with getting certificates. It's never too late to go back and get your GED, your high school high set test. Now they giving you diplomas now. Go get your high set. Go back and get that paperwork and stop giving up on it. Because this is what Jobs is looking for. And I was trying to tell my son when I was in the joint, you dig what I'm saying? He was going through his thing, and I so when he was getting ready to drop out of school, I sent him this little piece of paper that just talked about everybody that had their GED that was successful, like Tupac. It was so many people that had dropped out and went and got their GEDs that was either Hollywood actors, famous musicians and stars, or just like millionaires and billionaires off of a GED. So I was trying to send him some inspiration and say, hey, my dude, listen, don't let that stop you because it's never too late to get out and do something. Now, I'm back to one of the reasons why Jobs like to see that paperwork because when you got that little paperwork, when you got your little resume and it says, okay, you completed your high school diploma, your GED, or your high set now, or you got some college classes behind you, they looking to say that, okay, you can finish a task, that we can hire you because you'll follow something through. So when it get hard, you ain't gonna walk off the job and you ain't gonna quit. Be like, man, fuck this job. I've did it many a times, and I'm telling you, you have to, man, the way life is going now, you better try to stay in there. So think about that. If you was the type that used to quit too early, every time life got hard and you dropped out or you quit or you gave up, stop doing that, especially if you got kids. Because you want to leave a good example for them, never to give up, that when they coming up and they going to school, like, nah, you finna get your ass up and go to school. Now you got kids around here, they skipping school and they drinking and smoking and they doing it a lot of times with their parents at the house. So it's just one of them things now. Times has changed now where it's really, really getting hard. And they making school a little bit easier. They trying to cater to the kids, like, they trying to make it easier. And it's just like, man, y'all still ain't going. They was telling me that y'all don't even got homework no more. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did that happen? And where was that rule at when I was there? All them book reports and all of them studying for quizzes and shit. And we didn't even have computers then. Y'all got laptops and all types of shit. Y'all got chat GPT. You dig what I'm saying? All types of shit. Y'all got AI. Y'all can ask AI. You ain't even got to do your homework. Only thing you got to do, they tell you to take a test, put AI over here and put the test over there and sit up there. You can, man, pass the test. It's crazy out here. You can't be quitting. Don't quit. Never quit. Let me show you another video. Let's go back. Don't ever quit. For real, for real. That's weak. All right, let's check this one out.
How do childhood experiences shape our adult insecurities?
Our childhood experiences everything. Our perception of the world,
how we view things and how we receive things is created in our childhood. So as we grow up as adults, it's the way that we see the world. And when you grow up in toxicity, you're going to view the world through toxicity. And so it's really important to understand how it affected you, because if it's not helping you, you're going to need to go to therapy to learn why you do what you do so you can change what you do.
You got to know what hurt you. Let's say you like roll your ankle and you never get it healed. You're gonna end up messing your shin up. You're gonna end up messing your knee up. You're gonna end up messing your hip up. And by the time you tune in, you focused on your hip and you fix that, but then you keep messing it up because you never properly identified where this injury started. And a lot of times when we get hurt as kids, that's really what it is it's just pain showing up in a lot of different spaces. So we gotta take a proper assessment. What hurt you?
Yeah. Come on, black man.
And then after we take that assessment, then you wanna find a healthy way to deal with the pain.
Very true. Yeah, Trip Fontaine, man, I gotta give it to him. He always come through with something positive. It's just like rolling your ankle. If you don't get the ankle properly healed, it can mess up so many different things. It can mess up your knee, it can mess up your shin all the way up to your hip. Next thing you know, you come along in your 40s and something, and now you walking with a whole limp. You can't even run, you can't even jog because something that you neglected back in your past that was so minute or small time under a microscope, now it's major pain. And it's like that. You see that with people with their health, not eating the right thing, being diabetic. you know right now, my OG, just with the lungs, different things like, smoking back in the days. And you know we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful of, what's going on in your life and what can come back and can take you out. A lot of times people don't want to drink water. They don't want to work out. They don't want to exercise. And then next thing you know, you get off into your 40s and your 50s, and now you got your blood sugar so high. Now they talking about cutting off a leg or a limb or something, and now you boo-hooing and you crying. And it's just like, man, you have to be careful and mindful of what you eating and what you putting in your body and how you taking care of yourself and getting your proper sleep and stuff like that. Ain't none of us perfect, but I'm just saying, Motivational Monday, this is one of the reasons why we're trying to give it to you like that, because motivate you like, man, if we all could be on the same page of saying, hey man, let's do something dope. Let's be on something positive. It's a beautiful thing. So 5 positive outlooks to break the cycle. So remember, number one, we said the survival hustle mindset. You grew up broke, and so you learned how to steal, scam, and hustle. That was me. I remember I tell this story. It's funny because I wish Grace was here. I was going to put her on blast again, but we did do it. Me, my sister, and my cousin Tammy. When I was in the 4th grade, Tammy was in the 5th. That means that Grace was in the 6th. We went to South Park and we stole our school clothes. We went out there and we stole us 4 outfits. Tammy took the jeans and wrapped them around her waist and put the safety pin in them. Grace would take, like, the shirts and different types of, like, whatever kind of shirts and stuff that we was wearing that we was matching up with them. She had her little coat on how she was sticking them down in her sleeve. And I used to take, like, the underwear, like socks and panties and stuff like that for all of us. So, I go to my little lane and I get them for their socks and their drawers, and then we'll all meet up. So then we'll wear some raggedy shoes out there, because that's when Payless used to be in there. So then we'll go into Payless, and then we'll change our shoes and we'll walk out with some brand new boats on. You dig? And we come to the house, and what could you say? We got some clothes that nobody else was able to get for us, but shit, we got them. And so that kind of turned into a habit, because once you feel like you can get away with something and it's something that's cool, oh man, we turned up. On Seven Deuce, we used to tear JC Penney's up out at North Park. Then it got so crazy that me and Farf, we used to go to TJ Maxx. We used to get us like a gang of outfits. We get us like about 5 short suits and leather book bags and stuff like that. And boom, act like we finna get up to the counter, like we finna pay for it, and boom, jet out the door. And this is where TJ Maxx used to be, right there where Joanne's Fabric is at, up there where the Shoe Carnival is at. So okay, just imagine being where Shoe Carnival, Ross's, and all of that is at. TJ Maxx was where the little fabric store was at, the little art store. So right between there was a little slit and it let you into the back parking lot that was back there. Farf used to have the Jetta parked back there. He have the Jetta parked back there. We'll boom, hit that thing, hit the little slide, jump in the Jetta with our outfits and come from the back and be all the way over there by the mall, driving past the police like we ain't did nothing. They ain't know, they ain't see us, but I'm saying, take that, couple that with 1992. First thing we started doing was, soon as we knew how to get the clothes, that was fast. Now you looking fresh and you out here and you you got that hustle mindset. You got to keep that going. What was the quickest thing to keep that going? Selling drugs. You dig what I'm saying? Waniac, you remember when we tried to hit licks, posted up outside people's house because we think that they got weed in there, rusty pistols and stuff like that in a broad daylight, finna take their face off for you dig what I'm saying? Scheming and scamming, trying to hit little bitty licks and then trying to, hustle. Sometimes it be a drought. What you gonna do when it's a drought? We started selling drywall, putting ambisol on it. So just in case they try to taste it, it would get their tongue numb. But then by the time they get to the crib, oh man, we done sold y'all some soap. We done sold you some peanuts. It was crazy. And so just think about the people that get killed or go to prison trying to scheme and try to hustle and trying to use that. So turn your hustle into an empire. If you can flip a pack, you can flip a legitimate business. That survival grind can make you an entrepreneur if you learn how to scale it right. You know, um, and it's happening right now. Waniac, you live in proof of that with the trucks. So now you got the CDLs, you driving the trucks. Boom, jump into his own semi. My little cousin Marcus, you did. Marcus, um, he never had to be in the streets like we did, but I'm saying business mind. You could take a page from his notebook and say, "Hey, cuz, how do you know I get this little money? Give me like a truck or something like that because the CDLs and the semis, that's everything. People is really eating off of that. That's a whole new hustle out here. If you can hit that highway, especially if you got your own truck, you moving people. I know people that move military people and stuff like that. And so my family and them that's in Indianapolis, they pick up contracts from stores and they move them. And so it can really be a business. The barbershop was a business for me. It was the closest thing to the dope game that I knew. So when I came home, I always knew how to turn them clippers on. So it's just like, why wasn't I thinking like that when I was out here? Instead of waking up trying to sell packs and trying to sell dope, I could have really been to school, really got the barbering license, and could have been where Bob and Black and them is at right now. Divine Creations. Look at what they doing. Look at what Geo is doing with his barbershop. Then look at my man over there, A1 over there off of Harrison. He been over there for years. He been over there listening since at least the early 2000s. My man got 2 decades in the game. Still surviving, still eating off the Clippers. And you just now seen the commercial that I'm posted. So you don't have to steal. You don't got to scam. You can make your business legitimate if you scale it right. Everybody is smart. The drug dealers and mentality. Anybody that can take out the time to plot a scam to go into a store and steal or to post up on the block and to maneuver, be a people's person to where you can meet dope fiends and sell, make drug to drug transactions. Bro, you business, you corporate. You got to think corporate minded. You dig? You got to think corporate minded. Shubu doing it with the car lot, with the houses, coming straight from the street, went to the feds, came back home, and boom, know how to take that money and go make something. You see him at the auctions all the time, making moves, positive moves. We chop it up all the time, even on a nonprofit. He keeps something positive going on because he know that it was in him. See, it's in you, not on you when you're a real hustler. You got to remember that. It's in you. It ain't on you. It ain't on the block. It ain't the only thing you can do is scam and scheme. It's in you. If you're a hustler, man, it's up here, fam. Replace rage with respect. Learn to pause before you pop off. Strength ain't in how loud you yell, it's in how calm you can handle chaos. The habit can save marriages, kids, and your own peace. Think about that. Replace rage with respect. Man, I wish I could tell y'all this story, you know. But give you a little backdrop. I got to give it to you because it's so fitting. I had a situation where an old friend of mine was sharing some pictures, and they made a comment, right? Well, they got a significant other. This person is married, And I guess this person seen the comment that they made about them loving how I dress, like, throughout the years, I guess. I didn't read into it. I didn't think too much of it. So however it goes, I'm so proud of their shorties. You know what I mean? Because when I come through, when kids jump in my chair, I always feed into their spirit. I'm always talking to them like, you getting ready to start school? You ready? You got your school clothes? What kind of shoes you gonna wear? What grade you finna be in? I want to try to, feed into their spirit. So we was talking. So this one particular kid, he wanted to show me because he said when he get done getting his haircut, I'm finna go get my shoes now. So I guess later on that night, he wanted me to see his shoes and he wanted to, wanted me to see it. Now he likes my shoes and how I do stuff. So boom, he done went and got him some nice, light, colorful shoes, and he done got the matching socks, like some stuff that I would pull off. So I'm shooting the shit like, hey, he biting off of me. He been in my closet and stuff like that, and we laughing. And this person just basically made like a little comment. Well, yeah, he probably did. I always loved your style, like you know what I mean. And so I never thought nothing of it. Fast forward, the significant other reads the comment and now they want to know, like, well, why are you hearting this man's pictures or videos? And why do you love his style? And so from there, he's angry. He's upset because he thinks that, what I mean, I'm possibly, what I mean, trying to mess with his wife. And, when you trying to explain to somebody and you can tell that they mad and that they raging and you know what I mean? Because I can hear it, there's a personal beef going on between the couple, and somehow I didn't got dragged into it. And so I was like, listen, man, and I don't do this, but I was just like, listen, man, on my kids and on my mama, I ain't never try to holler at your, you know what I mean, your wife. Still angry and upset. Like, man, niggas say that all the time. Nigga don't, and I'm like, I'm trying to tell him everything. He says, that don't mean that you ain't gonna holler at her. You dig what I'm saying? Um, so to make a long story short, I went through a phase and I had to just like get serious. Like, listen, I'm a God fearing man. You know what I mean? I love God. I'm never gonna disrespect God by trying to holler at somebody else's wife. It ain't in me. And I'm standing on that. Them is some morals and some standards that I'm standing on. And if you got a boyfriend, I don't want you no way, because that's him. What's his is his and what's mine is mine. You dig what I'm saying? I'm to the beat over here in my life. So why am I, and I couldn't get him to understand it. But I had to, you know what I mean, just like keep it like, listen, whatever's going on over there, it ain't got nothing to do with me. And please keep me out of it. Cause here's the thing. I love God too much to disrespect him and try to holler at your wife. On the flip side of that, I respect y'all allowing y'all kid to come over here to get their hair cut. You dig what I'm saying? That's grimy to death to ever cut somebody's hair and then try to holler at your wife. You know what I mean? That's low ball. That's dirt ball bag right there. You know what I mean? We ain't doing that one. You dig what I'm saying? God bless me. So I'm to the beat. I don't, you know what I mean? Why would I blow God's blessings by trying to holler at this man's wife? But he was rage. Would it take me? Would I been it wouldn't have made no sense for me to be on some rage when I know I didn't do it, to be like, nigga, I ain't try to whoop de whoop and try to go to level 10 with this man. I don't know this man. I ain't never seen this man. I don't even know what this man looked like. But he did some cool shit for me like last year, put a bug in my ear about somebody else that was hating on me and shit. So I always felt like the dude was a cool dude. Never met him, but I owe you more respect than that, my man, to do that. But the moral of the story was he was enraged, and in order for me to get to a calm level, I had to just be like, hey, still calm. Like, it ain't about y'all. It's about God with me. You know, nothing else ain't working. You dig what I'm saying? Ain't nothing else, coming into play that I'm saying, because he can counter that. But then, like I told him, what y'all got going on, don't bring me in that. I love God too much to disrespect you. So be mindful. Rage, replace it with respect. I owe that man respect, not rage. You dig what I'm saying? I understand that he was mad. He got a reason to be mad. I apologize to him if that's how he took it, because maybe you shouldn't have. But like I said, I never thought nothing of it, because me and her had been friends since, like, we was in school. Know the whole family, nothing like that. And she speaks very highly of him, and I just wouldn't do that. But you'll never get anywhere meeting rage with rage, you know. And if you a person of rage, when you trying to talk to somebody, tone it down and try respect. Try to, you know what I mean, come at them in a different manner. Like, hey, listen, all right, this is how I feel. This is how you made me feel when you did this. What is this about? Give a person a chance to explain it. If you feel like they lying, well, listen, I don't believe like that's the truth, but if that's what you say, then that's what it is. But guess what? For my sanity and for my conscience, would you please not do that anymore? Or you can either say, hey, would you kill that conversation? Leave the shop and kill that type of conversation. That ain't, I don't feel like that's for that. And I could understand that and I can respect that. But no matter how it goes, you know, he's in the right because he's a man at the end of the day. But I just want to say this: rage won't get you nowhere, man. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna do nothing but blow up, and then people is gonna mess around and split. And one thing that I do love is I love all couples. I love anybody that finds love. I love that. I love it when you married. I love it when you in a situation where love is in the air and kids is involved and it's two parents in a home. But I really love it when it's black love because so many of our homes is like, you know, single mothers. And so it's not a shot to take nothing away from other families, but so many of our homes are single mothers where the father is in prison or the father is dead. And that's for Hispanic communities too. So white communities, we understand y'all, but a lot of times y'all do grow up with both parents in the house. Not all the time, but I'm saying the percentage for us is very, very low. So I love black love. I love black families. I love black marriages. I'm never coming between that. That's my word, bare truth, and I stand on that one. That's I salute to that one. Like, I'll stand on that one for sure, for sure. Cause there's too many women out here for that. I ain't never listen, girl. You ain't that bad. I don't give a shit what you do. I don't care nothing about your head, your sex, no none of that. I ain't coming between no family where no kids and stuff lay their head at. We ain't doing that one. Number three, redefine love as safe. Fall in love with people who bring you peace, not problems. Start a new habit. If it drains you, don't entertain it. I'm telling you, if it drains you, don't entertain it. You have a life to live and you have to be happy. You have, you know, when you wake up and you happy, it's such a beautiful thing. Like, you know, when you when you meet people and that person brings you like happiness and it changes your whole it changes your whole direction. It changes your life. It changes the way that you move. It changes the way you groove. Like you start doing things that you ain't never done before. A lot of times they say you could tell when a woman is in love. They say that she glows, you know. And so redefine love as safe. Love has to be a safe place. It has like love is not chaotic. It's not toxic. Everybody like God is love. God is love. I keep telling you, God is not the author of confusion. So if it's confusing, chaotic, toxic, God ain't in. He ain't in that one. So just make sure you do that, and especially like when it's kids around. Don't let them habits from your past come back and stain your kids. Like when I was showing y'all that video with that girl with the three kids in the window, and them kids sitting up there listening to Glorilla or Sexy Red, who it is, and pointing and sticking up their middle fingers and doing all that. And it's just like, so wherever you got that from, little mama, and you turned over shaking it, you finna pass that demon right on down to them kids. You finna pass that demon right on down to them kids. And I'm telling you, the world will test your kids on what you taught them. And if they flunk it, sometimes they go to the grave, sometimes they go to the joint. But you're going to take that test again. So it's up to you. Healthy escapes, deadly escapes. Okay, so number four was addiction coping. So it said healthy escapes, deadly escapes. Instead of numbing out with drugs or alcohol, find habits that heal. Working out, writing, praying, cooking, mentoring. Change your high, change your life. And this is so true. So I'm going to tell you why. Because the guys at the 180 group, when Patty, shout out to Patty Gibbs, who put me in over there on that group just to go over there and mentor them guys. Do you know it feels so good to sit and talk with some people that's trying to go in a positive direction, and you can sit there and you can share your story where God has blessed you, and he's taking you through something where you can say, listen, it works, bro. Giving him praise and giving him props every day and letting him control your life, you could still be cool and you could still be whoever that cool person that you thought you was without the liquor, without the drugs. You don't have to use that to numb you. You don't have to use that to, you know what I mean, to be your liquid courage so you can talk to people, so you can feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? Try some writing, try praying. Working out is a thing because when you start working out, you start flushing them toxins out of your body. So you start drinking water, start flushing that weed, and start flushing that liquor out. I'm telling you, you feel a whole lot better. Now, there's some people that's that can cope with working out, drinking, and still smoking. To each his own. I'm not trying to say it's bad, but try some of the different things. Mentoring somebody else, cooking. I mean, I ain't never really used cooking to cope with something, but I mean, I can see it. I can see it. Change your high. Now I'm on a different high. It's like I love life. Life is so different to me now. It's like, man, when they snatched that 15, that decade and a half from me, it's like when I came home, I was so excited about living and about, different things that I was taking for granted, learning, reading books, getting certificates, good jobs that pay money, speaking, public speaking, DJing, the podcast. It's just like, listen, it's too much cool shit out here to be somewhere laid up high and drunk and smoking weed. Like, I'm cool. You got that one, little homie. I'm good on that. I'm straight. Cause listen, when you listen, it's so many nights that I used to wake up and I'd be so sluggish the next day that I couldn't even get nothing started unless I started drinking again. I had to have another beer just to calm the shakes, just to feel normal. It's like, man, I feel so good without that shit. I wake up right now and drink a bottle of water and chase my little pills. I got to take a few little pills, but you chase it with some water, you just feel good, you know? I got to drink more water, but I'm telling you, I'm just saying, man, listen, make some changes. It's really good. Change your high, change your life. Let something else be your high. I'm living, man, living life is really good. That's the high. God is high for me. Just knowing, seeing that He can bless you, that He can take you from a bad situation and be like, boom, when everybody counted you out, and then say, look, they ain't did nothing to you. Don't let that tarnish you. Don't let that name tarnish you. Don't let nobody talk bad about you and tarnish you. This is who I made you. And boom, I got you right here. I showed y'all. Did it. I'm living proof. I showed y'all documentaries, books. You know what I mean? First place at volume film festivals. What? I mean, there's nothing that I ain't been able to do when I came home. Nothing, except for I'm trying to touch a million, $1 million. But meanwhile, I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it 100. There's nothing that you can't do once you put your mind to it and keep in first place. Finish what you start. Remember, we talked about the people that quit too early. Make it a habit to see things through. Whether it's a book, I gotta do that, man. Man, that's real. So real, so real, so real. Whether it's a book, a business, or a relationship, prove to yourself that you can finish strong. And I used to be like that on the relationship types, with the friendships. I was ready to quit because I had a bad taste in my mouth. You know, um, the first relationship I had when I got out the joint, it wasn't the best. It's taught me something. But then this new dating, it was so weird that it was like I liked being by myself. I disliked, if anything would come up where it was like, okay, this is a red flag, I'm out. I'm cool with being dolo. The book, I got the book in my head. I got two different books in the computer. One of them I've been writing on. I can even speak into the mic and the mic would type it. And then the other one I just came up with, and it can be shorter than this other book that I'm putting together. And I think I need to put it out quickly. I just trying to find the time. You dig what I'm saying? My thing is time. A business that you meant to start up. Maybe there's a business that you wanted to start, but you didn't finish it, man. Take that leap of faith and walk out on a limb and go do that business. Stop doing it. Why not you? Who better but you? I'm gonna tell you, man. I got this buddy named Rich. He'll be cutting his hair, and me and Rich, we was kids. We grew up in Arsenal Courts. I can't say we was the best of friends, but I know who he was from back then, and I know his brother Jasper, and they know my cousin Lizzie. Okay, so now me and him start working at Sterilite, and ever since then we became brothers. We brothers in Christ, but I've been his barber and I'm his son's barber, and uh, we always iron sharpens iron, and so me and Rich, we always talking, we always kicking. Any given moment, he might grab my hands like, "Come on, brother, can I pray with you?" And we'd be down here in the basement, we'd be praying. Um, Me and his brother then left jobs, picked up jobs, and seen jobs, and just talked things with like a vision. Like he remember when I used to come to his house in the Buick LaCrosse and cut his hair with clippers. When Nubia got me them Christmas clippers, like the little 80, 90, $100 clipper set. And I used to pack them up in a backpack and just go to people's house and cut their hair, cut him and his son's hair in the kitchen, all the way to coming over here to having a shop, to setting appointments and showing up. I can show you my Cash App, or just, throughout the years, the man I'm his barber. So now take that. And I've seen him say one time, okay, I'm thinking about buying a duplex, and me and my wife, we thinking about doing a duplex. Then we figuring like, okay, if we get one, we want to try to get us a few, pieces of property to the point where we don't have to work no more, and we can, kind of like live off that. We try to relax. He said his wife worked too hard, so he want his wife to kind of relax. He want his baby to be at home and kind of be able to chill out. Um, he doing it. Like he turned around and found one in Clinton, jumped on that duplex. It got to rocking, got him some little tenants that stay in there. Then he just turned around about a month ago and closed on one like downtown in Davenport, just by speaking it into existence, and not just speaking it into existence, but moving on it. Sometimes y'all be having ideas and y'all just don't move on it. And you need to move on it. God is telling you to move on it. It's the same thing, but like the barbershop. I was telling them I had a visionary board and I had three different goals. One was the podcast, one was the studio, and one was like the book, or something that I was trying to do. So I had these three goals. And then at the bottom of it, it was like remodel the basement. So at first the basement just had a bunch of stuff in there because my stepdad, he hoarded stuff. So it was just so much junk in here that I could just come through. I fixed the bathroom up, come downstairs, take a shower, and I was upstairs with my mom. So then when she came home and she got the oxygen tank, it was like, okay, I can't leave her. So I had to figure out the basement. Me and her, the roommate, we crazy, we've been going at it and at it about the basement. So we finally got the basement cleared out. Jay, the boyfriend, he came through. Creeps came through, and he did the basement. What I mean? He did a good job doing the bathroom, the basement, and stuff like that. So I took the first month's rent deposit that I was going to get into this apartment with, gave it to my man. True story. I had been hollering at people about the barbershop, like, man, I hollered at Silver and Gold about coming down there with him. I hollered at Bob and them about, getting up to Divine Creation, about, getting in there. So as we start building it, my sister and them, my dad, everybody started sending me barbershop stuff. My dad sent me a chair. My sister sent me like posters. My nephew sent me mats. My other sister, my baby sister in Nap, she sent me the Bare Truth cape. Um, Nick sent me jars and stuff like that to put the combs in. Next thing you know, we had a barbershop in the corner. So my son told me to get the LLC for it in February 2023, and it's been rocking ever since. You dig what I'm saying? Even when I don't even have the third shift job, the barbershop was rocking. Listen, I cut so much hair this weekend, I couldn't get everybody in this weekend, you know? And it was crazy is because when I was in prison, I used to see this barbershop, and it was black and it was dark. And I kept thinking, like, God, am I gonna have any clients? Like, what? You telling me don't open up the barbershop? I ain't gonna have no clients and stuff like that. And it scared me. It was almost like a nightmare because I seen it like three different types of dreams where it was dark. And then I'm back to the vision board. So remember how in the vision board at the bottom it was like remodel the basement? When I looked at the vision board, God had took all three of the things, the podcast, the studio, and everything, and shoved it in the basement. And when I turn off the lights, the barbershop back there in the corner was the barbershop that he was showing me in my dream back in 2012. Here it is, 2023. 11 years later, he's showing it. He showed it to me 11 years before it happened, and then it happened. So I'm just telling you, sometimes you just can't wait on people. You just have to get out and move. The moral of the story is, like, do not quit. Do not give up. Straight up. Do not give up. that truck out there. You dig what I'm saying? Insurance, everything is capable because of them clippers, because I just didn't quit. Okay. You ain't want me to come over here, or they was doing their thing over there. It was cool. And I just did my own thing. And it worked. And sometimes you just gotta do your own thing, man. It's just a testament to what it is. Life is real. So it's 9:06. We're a little bit over time. But listen, man, be motivated. Straight up. Do not let habitual behaviors come back and haunt your future. Remember, that hustle mindset of stealing and scamming and scheming, you get older, that shit get played out. Anger as a defensive mechanism, you ain't finna get nothing accomplished yelling and being angry with nobody. So you're gonna have to replace that with respect. You're gonna have to calm down, figure out a different way to talk and communicate with people, or you ain't finna get nothing accomplished. So you can stop that. Love equals a pain habit. Love don't hurt. Love ain't toxic. Love is peaceful. Peaceful is not boring. Peaceful is happiness. Peaceful is joy. You dig what I'm saying? So if you like being turned and toxic, maybe that's your lifestyle. But I guarantee you, when your ass get into your 40s or your 50s and stuff like that, and your face look a mess, your teeth knocked out, one of your eyes is lower than the other one, then you gonna know what it is. What's up, Red? It's a good evening, Miss Red, checking in. What's going down? So I'm just telling you, you get tired of being in toxic relationships where you and this dude damn near about to kill each other. You in and out of jail because she calling the police, or you done stabbed him, he done punched you, and y'all did it in front of the kids. That that man, get rid of that, because that's not love and that's not family. Addiction. I'm praying for any and everybody that might have any type of addiction chain that's holding you down from doing something, man. I know that it can be hard. The alcohol was hard. Um, Alcoholism runs in our family. So when I say turn up for Christ or burn up for life, straight juice, straight sparkling juice, straight cranberry juice, or non-alcoholic wine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to that bottle. I'm leaving that bottle alone. And so, I mean, if you need me to pray for you, man, DM me. You dig? Because that addiction thing is really really bad. And then number five, never quit, never give up. I got a song called "Never Too Late." It's dope. I'm working on that right now. But don't, man, finish what you start. You might be the next best, thing. Mr. J Blanton over there at Harold's. Don't quit. You know, don't quit. Right now, it's a few things that you might have to work out. It's a few things that you're gonna have to make sense. You know what I mean? As a restaurant, Lindsay Baker, shout out to you. I gotta get with the soul ties. Thank you for don't quit. Open up, get it together, make it shake. You know what I mean? You never listen. Ken Ribs, don't quit, my dude. I can't wait till Ken get a building. I can't wait till he get a restaurant. Cause it's coming. I can't wait for you to open up, my dude. Cause he got some of the best food I'd have never had in my, you know what I mean? The best ribs that my uncle used to cook ribs like that. Dude, ribs is on point. His chicken is on point. You know what I mean? The steaks is on point. The roast beef is on point. You know, man, I fuck with Ken. Not just cause he family, but I'm talking about I really listen, man. I could show you my cash app, boy. I think I done probably spent over a G with Ken. I know I have. Let me see if I can look up Ken Ribs. I'll tell you exactly how much I spent with him. Let me see. Show me. Listen, $1,003. Y'all can't see that. It's too much. Like shit. I don't be playing when it comes to Ken. I'm swear he didn't got a stack from me. For real, for real. And that's only through Cash App. A lot more has been spent in cash. You dig what I'm saying? And some have been traded for haircuts. Ken Ribs, listen, don't ever stop, my dude, because you belong out here. For real, you belong out here. That's the bare truth, man. Listen, I love y'all, man. God bless y'all. Um, Find a way, man, to kill those habits. Anything that's a habitual behavior that you picked up in your past or you picked up from somebody else that's not beneficial to your life, kill it before it kill you. Grace will be back with me. We probably won't go. I don't know if we're gonna go like next week because I think she's getting ready to come here. It'll be Labor Day weekend. She might be on her way back home or she might be tired from traveling back home. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't know. But this week I'm gonna run through all the podcasts just in case next week we take a break. You dig what I'm saying? So listen, Once again, bear true.